This is our world. War, disease, fires, oppression.
An unprecedented pace of technological advancement, and our democratic systems are struggling to keep up.
The asymmetry between how quickly incendiary information and disinformation spreads and how slowly factual information spreads.
This is the world we're inheriting, but it's not the world we want to live in.
What is often overlooked is the social dimension of the urban environment, or in other words, what is called the soft politics. We need to address the needs of the most vulnerable sections within cities.
We understand at this stage in our social and economic evolution that our institutions aren't working very well. And that instability that we're feeling in those institutions are somewhat caused by technology, but technology is also the opportunity space for us to reinvent something new.
بچه‌ای که از یونان بودن همراه از حرف زدم تا بتونم زبان زودتر یاد بگیرم تا بتونم که مردم زیاد در ارتباط باشم و در جامعه داخل شوم.
We should get ready to adapt and build more resilient societies and economies. We should build better bridges of communication between science, politics, and society.
Through Teens for Democracy, we will be able to not only vote for the members of the Student Council, but also for things we really care about, things that affect us and our world. A platform to make our voices heard, affect change, and create pressure. Pressure local governments and international bodies to acknowledge our seat at the table.
We are launching a climate change hub for Southeastern Europe based in Athens.
To catalyze action at all levels with a special focus on municipalities and local communities.
For a seamless process where a refugee or migrant unaccompanied child youth would be taken care of, educated, encouraged, advised, and offered opportunities.
Only this broad quality supportive network can create real opportunities, not only for the children themselves, but for us Greeks as well.
Digitalization of public services, the infrastructure, the G-Cloud, the data, and of course, it's never just about technology. We need to focus on people.
For democracy to evolve and get out of the glut that it currently is, we need fresh ideas, free of institutional thinking, so that we can broaden the public discourse. In other words, democracy.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, friends. Welcome to the 9th edition of the Athens Democracy Forum in association with the New York Times, and which we convene in cooperation with the United Nations Democracy Fund, the Kofi Annan Foundation, and the City of Athens. It is great that you can join us. In all the years that we have been gathering here to take a stock of the state of democracy, the goalpost seems to be always on the move. As soon as we have identified one challenge, we move to another challenge, and then yet another challenge. It appears that we're forever shaping new crises, new challenges, and new tasks for us. We have seen the very foundations of democracy battered by economic crises and inequality, massive waves of refugees, radical changes in info and biotechnology, the insidious cancer of authoritarianism, and of course, our existential threat, that of an overheating planet. So climate, migration, technology, business. As you saw from our opening video, these are the 4 programmatic pillars that came out of last year's Athens Democracy Forum. Since then, our team at the Athens Democracy Forum and the Democracy and Culture Foundation, who is now the organizer of this forum, have embarked on a series of projects devoted on these 4 pillars, seeking to turn your solutions into action. And we want to do this with a bottom-up approach, engaging citizens, and especially our youth and teenagers. It is a journey into deliberative democracy. So above all, I would like to thank you, our delegates, both in person here in Athens and virtually, for engaging with our forum and our foundation in our quest to make things happen, in our quest to change the world by helping democracy evolve. This is what we're here to do, based on our mission to empower society through citizen engagement and better governance. And how do we do this? Through a very simple impact chain of think, talk, do. While here at this forum, we're here to talk, let us keep in mind that what we really want is to be gathering your ideas and your reactions to what speakers tell us, so that we can have actionable solutions for the day after tomorrow. So please engage and interact with our speakers and with each other and on social media platforms. Share photos and important quotes you have heard during the sessions and add your thoughts. Follow us on Twitter at Forum Athens and use the hashtag @AthensDemocracy. We have a team here in Athens who would also love to interview you and get your thoughts and reactions, which will be shared in all our social media platforms. In the spirit of democracy, we want this forum and this foundation to be yours. And to help make it yours, amongst us, we have some international university students from the Global Liberal Arts Alliance. They will be coming to you so that they can include you in white papers and action papers that we will produce, that we can all take home and use in our efforts to renew democracy. We have a great program lined up for you with exceptional speakers. So many that I can't possibly mention them all, but to mention just a few, we are delighted that historian Yuval Noah Harari liked last year's forum so much that he's returned to Athens this year. And the European Commission's Vice President Dubravka Šuica returns in person this year. They will be joined by many others, from Svetlana Tsikhanouskaya from Belarus to Peter Szijjarto from Hungary and Zhu Hong from China, because it is important to hear the contrarian points of view. We are not here to merely defend democracies, note the plural democracies, but rather through inclusion to help democracy evolve. Our finest journalists from the Times are here to fulfill this process, led by this year's hosts, Stephen Erlanger and Patrick Healy, so aptly brought together in the great program our editorial director, Kim Conniff-Tabor, has put together. We are also honored to have so many supporters this year who feel strongly about democracy and the mission of our forum. We have the special participation of the Ministry of Digital Governance of Greece this year, and we thank Facebook as our headline sponsor, our gold sponsors, Luminet, EBRD, Google, Babin Yar, and the Greek presidency of IRA. And all our other sponsors, Council of Europe, Ericsson, Lambda Development, Costa Navarino, Microsoft, Libra Group, National Bank of Greece, GNTO, Solidarity Now, and so many other partners like McKinsey, Accenture, Aegean, and Gran Bretagna, and the ones you can see on your screen. There's almost 30 of them this year, so please join me in thanking them for their generous support. With our support of our sponsors, this forum extends beyond this room into the special report that will be published in the New York Times next week on October 8, distributed in more than 160 countries, reporting on what we will achieve these few days in Athens. Last night, the mayor bestowed this year's City of Democracy Award to YY Nu, the activist from Myanmar, who is fighting so hard for democracy in her country. We are always inspired and energized by the example of people like YY, and we must always recognize such achievement. So I'm happy to announce that for our 10th Athens Democracy Forum next year, we plan to launch an award with the Kofi Annan Foundation, the Kofi Annan Youth Democracy Award. This is in honor of the man that has so inspired the launch of this forum and our mutual belief that we need to listen to those under 25. We are also planning to launch our Teens for Democracy platform. So there's a lot in store for our 10th year, so stay tuned. In the spirit of the theme of this year's forum, resilience and renewal, we know we are resilient in the face of crises, and we invite you to contribute to that second word, renewal. All this talk of crisis, all of democracy's challenges, have been thrown into even greater turmoil for almost 2 years now by a tiny spiked organism that has spread at warp speed to every corner of the globe, radically changing the way we work, the way we study, meet, and too often die. The Delta variant has set off a vast new wave of infections, and there is no way to know what new mutants are evolving somewhere. Its ravages are evident here at our forum, to which so many are unable to come in person, but thanks to technology and thanks to resilience, at least we have so many of them virtually. The challenges are on an epic scale that would have challenged even Homer's powers of description. But then it was Homer who wrote, "Be still my heart, thou hast known worse than this." I hope that's true. But we have found that there is often a silver lining to a crisis, and we believe in silver linings. That's when real change becomes possible, when real leaders emerge, when people come together, when resilience gives way to renewal. The key is not to give up. The planet can still be saved, and it must be saved. Demagogues have been turned back, and we are learning to channel extraordinary technology we have developed away from evil. The spread with which vaccines were developed for the coronavirus is nothing short of miraculous. It is getting people to accept them that has proved a little bit more difficult. And so we gather again to assess what we have learned, but even more to contemplate what we should do. Good governance is a permanent Homeric struggle, and we have known worse than this. So I invite you to don your helmets and get to work. Before Prime Minister Tsaltas has his keynote conversation with our Chief Diplomatic Correspondent, Steve Erlanger, let us have an opening provocation from Pranag Khanna to set the tone for the day. I thank the Prime Minister for being such an ardent supporter of this forum and this foundation. In some ways, he is the custodian of democracy that ancient Greece brought to the world, and perhaps in the perfect position as modern Greece celebrates its 200th year independence, to help the world, to help democracy evolve. And so, to our opening provocation.